Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ethan. Welcome back to another episode of the Fingerboarding podcast. I'd be lying if I said it hasn't been a while and that we haven't recorded a couple episodes because we have. They just like, to be honest with you, they're pretty crappy. So
They
we
were
we
rushed.
we trashed them, but yeah, they were rushed. Like Max and I mean, I guess this is like a fucking vlog at this point. It's like, hi guys, what's up? How's it
A
going? This is what
vlog.
going is going. I mean, it's like schedule changes have been made, and it's just like many different things have just made making a podcast a lot harder than it used to be.
Yeah, we got it. We
Um,
got it though. We got it.
yeah, we're getting one out here for you guys, and hopefully you like it. I mean, I right now I'm working two jobs and still doing school, so it's just been like pretty rough for me, but you know.
Yep, we're we're
I I
we're
I kind
growing.
of
We're grown adults.
I just feel bad because like I know there's a community out there of you guys who actually like listening to the podcast, and I appreciate that you guys do enjoy the podcast, and it does mean a lot that
Yeah, it
I'm
means a
able
ton.
to like be able. Yeah, it really does. It means a lot having some sort of role in like supplementing, I guess, like supplementing the fingerboarding community with some sort of content. Like it is kind of like a humble feeling that just that I don't know I don't know how exactly to explain it, but
It just feels really good when you see people reacting like you wanted when you like put content out. Like just to see a comment or just even a like or just anything. It
yeah,
gives a lot of purpose to what you're doing.
and I don't want to dwell on this too long because I mean obviously we haven't had an episode in a while. Like there's I mean it's whatever,
Right.
but
It is what it is.
I mean, like our Mike Schneider episode and the Chubby Muffin and Kelsey Fingerboard one, that's doing really good. That has, I think they both almost have 800 views, and I mean that's not a lot per se, but I mean the
It
way
is
I
it is
think of it,
though
I think of
for what the fingerboarding community is.
it is, but like the way I think about it, I mean I think about the people, how packed. I think about how packed the last rendezvous was. That was a lot of people, but it really wasn't. That was like, I mean, it was a lot of people, but it wasn't even close to 700 people. So I imagine that seven times, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah,
So,
that's insane. Because I mean, if you think about it, there had to
um,
be 200 people in there. Like probably a little more, maybe. I don't know though.
I don't know.
It's hard to
I
say.
mean, minus like parents, I guess you could say.
Oh, that's true. But seriously, like 700 people, that's a lot. That can fill up a lot of like concert halls and shit.
Yeah, good. But anyways, we don't have too much stuff to talk about. I noticed like if we have like a huge list, we never really get to what we want to, or we leave stuff out. So there's a couple things I wanted to mention. I know we're a little late on this, but the new Tech trucks, the 32 millimeters that are with Series 7, well, most of them are 32 millimeters. I'm just really excited for that. I haven't been able to find any sets near me though,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I got a
I don't
gripe with
think
that
Max has
shit.
either, have you?
No, I got a gripe with that shit, man. I've been looking for them since launch, and my Walmart. See, like, okay, so where I live, there's only one department store. There's Walmart. That's it. Like, there's no Target, no Toys R Us, and like the closest one is like 35 minutes away from me. Like the other Walmart or Toys R Us, they're like 35 minutes away from me, which I mean isn't a lot, but obviously, I'm busy. I didn't even have time to do much in my day, so I'm not gonna go 35 minutes down to Concord to look for a set of trucks. But my
Yeah, I mean,
Walmart, dude, my Walmart has been out of just tech decks in general. Like they've been out of all tech deck things since 3 months. Like I've been looking for them for 3 months and they've been completely unstocked of tech deck shit. And I'm getting I'm getting tilted.
yeah, it's weird because like tech decks are still they're definitely still a thing because like
Oh hell yeah.
I keep on seeing tech deck ads on my Instagram feed. Like, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of odd. There's a tech deck ad here. So I mean, they're still making bank, I guess, if they're,
They
still making
definitely are making
toys,
bank.
but it's not like tech decks aren't a thing like they used to be, early 2000s to mid 2000s because I remember them being like a huge thing back then, but they're not as much anymore. And I'm just bummed that I haven't been able to find 32 millimeters. I mean, you can order them online, but like people are scalping them and stuff, and it's kind of not cool. But
I mean, at that point, you're kind of defeating the purpose. Like TDLBs were cheap trucks that you could just get and have a fun time with. Now, like people
Well, like
reselling them are like, okay, you got to pay like 13 bucks for them, and they're all tuned and shit, and then you got to pay $5 for shipping.
that's a dig.
When I can go to the store and get one set of trucks for $3, because that's how much a whole
Well,
setup is.
I think it's kind of fun to like go hunting for your own tech trucks anyway. But like,
That too.
I don't think I think if you want 32 millimeter trucks, and like for example, Red Wolf sells these tuned 32 millimeter trucks. I wanted to pick up. I just haven't had a chance to yet. I don't think that's a bad idea at
No.
all. I think that's actually a pretty good idea, especially now that they're more like readily available and they're not as rare to find. And also, I kind of changed my opinion on tech longboard trucks, which I now just tech trucks at this point. My opinion has evolved, being like BRTs and white trucks are nice, but honestly, at this point in time, like I'm just like fuck those trucks. Like I really like $65 for a pair of trucks when I could basically get almost the same performance from cheap trucks. I mean, of course they're not going to be as great. And don't get me wrong, I love BRTs. They look so nice. You know, they're just dope. They're just dope. Like it ties a good setup together. Like it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying at this point with fingerboarding, I kinda don't give a shit about what my fingerboard looks like. Like if it's cool, color like, coordinated theme, you know, that's nice. Or I see a nice woob on Instagram, I'm like, damn, that's sexy. But I don't really give a shit anymore. I'm like, I want performance. I want to shred the shit out of my setup, not really care about it. And that's what I do right now. But I'm just saying, like, BRTs aren't cheap. Some people can like milk life out of them, I swear. And other people, like Uncle Urban, for example, like shreds them within 2 months. And I'm like, I love fingerboarding, and I will continue to do it, but it's not like something I want to keep on investing money into.
Okay, well listen, I'm a little fuck boy, okay? So I need my color matching setups and shit. But I think you're right. At this point, I could care less what my trucks were. Like I'll always have like a nice stack and nice wheels, and BRTs will always be my favorite truck, and I'll always love them, and I'll probably always get a new set when mine breaks. But like as for right now, I think you're kind of right. Like I've been you got like if you listen to the podcast or know me in real life at all, like I kind of like indoor fingerboarding. Like I've never been a fan of outdoor fingerboarding. But as time goes on, and as I have less and less time for shit, I find that bringing a fingerboard with me, and just finding little spots gives me a lot more joy than sitting down and fingerboarding. Because when I see a spot and I get a trick on it, it's really cool, and it's a really cool experience to find that shit. I know we've talked about this before. Ethan has the same opinion I do now, but back then I had the opinion of no, I like sitting in my chair and fingerboarding. Now it's kind of evolved to no, I like getting out there and I like finding spots and shit to do. Like I know when Ethan and I would hang out, like I would never be like, oh, I don't want to go walk around and find spots. Why would I do that when I can just fingerboard inside? But I don't know. I kind of like finding spots now. It's just a thing I like to do. And I do have my outdoor setup, my pop setup does have BRTs, and I don't really care if they get thrashed. Like,
Yeah, neither do I. I'm like,
well, like,
just
dude,
here's a concrete ledge that's barely waxed. I'm just gonna 50-50 this and not give two shits.
exactly. I'll grind. Like, I did a little video on a bucket loader or something. I'll drop that sometime. But I was grinding like this bucket loader's little rail portion, and it was pretty rusty. And you know what? I don't really give a shit because if I can get that trick and that brings me joy, then I could care less what happens to my trucks.
Yeah,
It's
and like
fun to do.
fingerboarding is it's all about fun. So I mean, like, if you don't mind spending the money for, because let's admit it here, BRTs, wide trucks, most of the decks available, most of the wheels, they're luxury items and not so much necessary things you need. Like I could do just as much as I can do now. Sorry, I have a cold, but I can do just as much as I can now on my $150 fingerboard that I can do on a P rep. Like it's not. I'm not even lying. Like I really can. Like I would be content and happy with the $12 fingerboard. Like it's just is what it is. And I love having the extra control, tuning, just feeling of an expensive setup. Yeah, but it's not. It's they're luxury items, and when it comes down to it, like I just don't care so much about that anymore.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like that, a setup with CNCs like spaced 32 millimeter trucks or TDLBs and like a nice like cheap deck like from Onfo or something, just like a $25 deck that's well made and just pretty well put together and just has great performance. You can do all the shit you can on that, as well as a like you said, an expensive setup. You don't need the expensive setup. It's nice. Don't get me wrong, because like if I said, oh, getting that shit's dumb, I'd be a huge hypocrite. Because I'm always gonna get BRTs. I'm always gonna get nice decks, and I'm always gonna get nice wheels. You know. But but yeah, I know it's just not necessary, like Ethan said. Basically, I'm just copying him. But
Yeah, and bringing it back to outdoor fingerboarding, we've talked about it so many times, and
yeah, that's why I don't
it's
want to
just
talk about it
nothing really
now.
beats. I know, but nothing really beats taking your fingerboard outside on like a nice day and just finding like some sort of spot that really isn't that complicated, but it feels nice. Like it just
It's like
different
skateboarding,
textures have
man.
different
That's the whole
feels.
thing.
Yeah, I mean it is. Yeah. Um. So moving on from that and opinions on parts of fingerboarding, and I don't think like decks I think are a big thing where definitely a $35 deck or even more could be definitely worth like you'll definitely get your money out of that deck because granted like I said with the P rep I could do the same stuff but certain decks just have way more pop, way better feeling, better concave, all that. So with decks I think decks are the most important thing that you can ever spend your money on,
I was just,
wheels being a close second.
I was
But
just about to say the same thing. I think the deck. I think if you had like space trucks and CNC wheels, just focus on the deck. The deck's the best part of your setup because it's you can get a deck, and if you know what you're looking for, you can get that nice tuned deck to what your preference is. Like I know like my favorite deck is a Berlin Wood or a Collins Wood. Like that will be my staple for decks. You know.
flat face boy.
Yeah, you love Flat
um
Face.
I've been riding the same deck for like a really long time now.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. Um, so talking about decks, obviously Flatface is my favorite deck. I've tried. My close second would be a 33 millimeter Wildwood Woob that I deeply, deeply, deeply regret trading on Instagram, and now it's like made its way through 5 different people. Probably has no pop, has fucking board rail holes in it.
Yeah,
It's
didn't
completely
someone
destroyed.
ruin
So
it?
I can't even get that. Yeah. So I mean, the minute you put board rails on it, you fucking ruin it, and it sucks because that was such a good deck. But other than that, I think it'd probably be Flatface, that Woof I tried, and then honestly, I still have this one P-Rep deck that I used for such a long time. It was really good. But I think see the thing with decks is unfortunately there's many upsides and downsides when it comes to Instagram, social media, selling and making decks. A lot of people take it for granted, and the market just gets flooded with decks from people who don't really know what they're doing. Um, but on the same page, there's also tons of people making really good decks. So unfortunately, there's so many decks right now where it's like, well, what the fuck am I gonna buy? Like, I don't know. I mean, I've tried so many decks at this point. I'm like flat face all the way. But for a lot of people, there's so many decks that are like, what am I even looking at? And unfortunately, like, what people do is they make 3 decks in a gamer mode press that maybe they sanded, a little bit to make it more of a usable shape, and they're like, boom, check out my decks, I'm selling them, split pies, $25 ship, and I'm like, no, can you not, can you not like do that? Um, so I've definitely tried a lot of decks with Instagram, obviously Flatface, Berlin Woods. I mean, uh, so many decks at store sessions, not necessarily ones that I own, but I've tried so many decks, and still to this day, I stick with Flatface. 29 Berlin Woods are super steezy. Not gonna lie, I like those a lot. Also, I'm not much like graphics are cool, but I've always been a natural guy. I like them natural. um, but
Perfect.
something that I yeah whatever, dude, shut up. One thing that I really like is when companies do like split pies, but on the plies inside the deck, and
Like the Wildwood.
yeah, the Wildwood. I'm about to cough though, so if you can, I'm gonna mute my mic and you can talk about
Just
this.
mute your mic, man. Um, and there it goes. But yeah, for my decks, it, at the top of my list, it's always gonna be Berlin Wood. I got a Berlin Wood. I got a Berlin Wood low first, and I was like, wow, this is a really nice. But I don't really like low shapes. Like I kind of like deep concave, like really high kicks. Like that's my shit right there. But for some reason, I was digging the Berlin Wood low shape. Um, cause the person I bought it off of at a rendezvous told me it was the regular shape. So I didn't know any better. And then I traded someone Joy Cults for another Berlin Wood, and I thought I was, and he was like, yeah, it's a regular shape, and I was like, oh, sick. And so I thought it was gonna be like the low I had, cause I didn't know any different. But I got it, set it up, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is not a Berlin Wood. And I guess I found out that the Berlin Wood I had previously was a low shape, but definitely the Berlin Wood regular shape is my favorite now. I've got the jean pattern one, the jean swirl. And it's the best deck I've ever owned, best performance. I can do anything on it. I love it. But a close second would definitely be Collinswood. Collinswood is my second favorite type of deck. It'll always have a special place in my heart because that's the first deck where I put it on like actual good trucks and good wheels. I got a Collinswood 2 years ago. I got BRTs and I got Joy Cults, and that was my first like really good setup, like professional setup. Um, so I still have that deck. It's just a natural blank Collinswood, and I love that thing. But I guess my third, I don't really have a third. I mean, I do love flat face G15s, so I'm guessing that would be my third. Um, I also really like pop decks. I've had a pop decks for forever since the 24th rendezvous. But I would have to say that's my top decks. You know, I love those things.
You want to know what I really like? Would like to get my hands on some of the special event engraved decks. I know our friend John, John Lawless,
Yes, the Berlin
um,
Wood engraved decks.
has one of those. It's just really, really nice decks.
They're so nice.
Yeah, the engraved ones.
I actually, funny story about that. I actually, at Rendezvous 25, I asked, because Timo said he was selling one. I met a kid and I was like, whoa, where did you get that thing? And he was like, oh, I bought it off Timo. And I was like, oh, shit, you can buy those? I was like, I thought that was a special thing. So,
Okay.
so I went up to Timo and I was like, hey, could I buy a engraved Berlin Wood off you? I love Berlin Wood. Your decks are awesome. And he was like, "No, I just sold my last one. I'm so sorry." I was like, "Yeah, that figures. Okay, that's all right."
Okay, speaking of Timo, and Berlinwood in general, I don't know who exactly listens to this, but if any of you German guys are listening to this, you guys have played a huge part in the community, and really, really, really appreciate that. And if any of you guys are down for the rendezvous or anything, we would love to maybe get 20, 30 minutes of podcast content at a rendezvous
Yeah, we
or
would
something
love
like
to
that
get
if you guys
love
have
to get a
time.
live interview with Timo or just anyone
Please
from
hang out with
Germany.
us. Yeah, because I mean, Max and I had the advantage of being at the store session, so we got to talk to Mike about stuff. There's a couple other people I wanna talk to and get on the podcast. It's just schedule, whatever. Like devise, a couple other people. We meet so many cool people. Also have to thank Mike for this, because we're not friends or anything. We're more of acquaintances, and I really appreciate him, taking time to be on our podcast. But like, there's so many people we've met and are friends with because of this simple thing that Mike started doing, like just rendezvous in general. Like it's really actually kind of warming. Like the connections Max and I have made through rendezvous, through having, just even going to Mike's to film, or not film, record a podcast. Um, that opened up a lot of doors for us. New connections, new people that Max and I would love to have on the podcast. And we also decided we prefer actually having the face-to-face conversations, questions, being able to make a list with the personal questions they want to ask, with other fingerboarders. It's just a really great overall experience.
It's
And
so much
personally,
better than doing it over Skype or something.
it really is. And I know, obviously, You won't be. We won't be able to have that opportunity with everybody because it's not like everybody goes to the rendezvous or anything. And I'm not saying a good podcast can't be with somebody over Skype because obviously we've had a couple, I think, good episodes with good content with people online. But hold on, I need to get some water. I'm gonna die.
Literally?
But yeah, literally. Uh, that's just something I wanted to say, and I really appreciate that. So
Yeah, for real, dude. Like like not even just like the connections we made through the story sessions and everything, but just fingerboarding in general. Like I guess that all ties together, but fingerboard has really like opened a lot of doors for us. It's fucking awesome. Just like a lot of just nice people and like good not acquaintances, good friends, like good people. There's just so many people in the fingerboard community that are just so nice and so fun to hang out with. It's just awesome, man. You know, I really enjoy it.
yeah, like I said, I mean, this episode's basically been us talking about us and not so much fingerboarding, but um, I figured it'd be better than me posting stuff that I'm selling on the podcast account on Instagram. So
This shit's annoying,
honestly,
dude.
kind of feel bad about that. Yeah, it is annoying. So
You gotta get that hustle, dude.
that's it. Yeah, I'm hustling. Come on, hood shit, guys.
Oh
You can't hate
shit.
on hood shit. Hustling. Um, ratchet shit, whatever. So another thing, he's been doing this for a couple months now, but Pocket Porter, most of you probably know if you follow him. That's my cat. Most of you probably know if you follow him. Um, he also goes by NY Navy, which I'm guessing, it's NY Navy.
NY
But he
Navy,
has some
Lil
fuck,
Bowie, aka
dude,
Lil Bowie.
dude, he is, dude, he has some fucking bangers. Like Max was like a little while ago. I'm like, I didn't really look into it because I just, there's a couple artists I listen to, and I usually stick to that. But Max is like, dude, you gotta check out these songs. They're fucking bangers. And I'm like, all right, sure, whatever. And dude, I'm listening to them, and I'm like, oh shit, these are fire. So, just we've met him a couple times, at the rendezvous,
Yeah, we've hung out with him.
just hanging out. Yeah, he's a cool dude. So if you guys haven't listened to any of his stuff, I would, cause as far as I can tell, it's pretty underrated, and the shit's fire. So check it out. But
Yeah, it's NY Navy at Instagram. I mean, hopefully we'll get, a couple people to go over there and check him out. But his songs are fucking awesome. If you like, I will
yeah,
mention
they're
that
bangers.
they're rap, like kind of like, I mean, the rap songs. Bottom line, just they're fucking awesome, dude. Like I kind of just got into rap. Like a few years ago, I'd be like, "Oh, fuck rap, fuck rap, it's garbage." But yeah, I don't know. It's just really good. I love. I'm getting into rap a lot more now, and I started listening to NY Navy like yeah, a month ago, month and a half ago. But yeah, it's just fucking awesome.
Pocket Porter.
I'm glad I found him, and I'm glad he started doing it because he does have a talent for it. They're really good beats.
Yeah, they are. Well, that was just like quick little podcast, guys. I know it's probably not what most of you wanted, but really not as much content as I would have liked, other than just a quick little update. We got a lot of good response on the Wheel Talk episode, which we'll keep in mind for ideas when it's just Max and I. Um, and another thing, I've just been holding out on most of what we've been recording just because I'm not happy with it. And ever since we recorded that one episode with Mike, it's Max and I have decided like
we, we
when we
can
have the
we can never
time.
get to that high again.
No, it's not even that. It's when we have the time, like sitting down with somebody face to face and recording a podcast is legit the coolest experience and the best experience I think we could like. I mean, obviously it's about
Exactly.
providing you guys with good content, but it's just a really great experience being able to do that. So in the future, especially with other people, I'm not saying like, we won't have people over Skype because obviously we're going to, but I'm just saying in the future, I think the majority of our stuff is probably going to be face-to-face things. By the way, next time around, the audio quality will be better. That was just Max fucked up and he forgot the
I,
microphone
I
on
did
because
fuck
he's
up.
retarded.
I forgot a little piece of essential equipment, so we had to makeshift a little audio
Yeah,
recorder. But dude, that's something I want to tell you too is I kind of want to do one with your camera, like with the audio recording shit. Like like an actual video.
Yeah. Also, iTunes. I keep on saying this. I don't
Fucking
know when
hell.
it'll happen. It'll happen when I have time to do it, which is my time is very limited as of now. It's working and then completing high school and then doing driver's ed in the morning. So like my schedule is pretty, up the ass. But I've done more research about it. It's way more complicated than I thought. I need like a server for it, an RSS feed. Then I have to submit it to iTunes. If iTunes thinks it's okay, then they'll put it on
It's a
iTunes.
whole lot of
Um,
bullshit.
so yeah, it's a whole lot of bullshit, honestly. Like, I know a lot of people don't have the patience to open up their YouTube and stream fucking, an hour worth of just talking about fingerboarding, especially when they have other shit they need to do in their lives. So I get that, but I just want to touch upon that a little bit. But,
Hell
well,
yeah, dude.
we just wanted to connect with you guys a little bit.
Want to say
Uh,
we're still here. We're still here, and we still want to do this shit. We're
Still
we're
here,
not
still
ditching this.
queer.
Still, what the fuck, man? God, it's fucking 2017. You're still making those jokes? What the hell's wrong with you?
I don't know. Anyways, guys, if you have any questions, you can hit us up at the Fingerboarding Podcast on Instagram, and we'll catch you guys around.
See ya.
Bossed up, I'ma get it, I'ma floss, bruh. Niggas see the swag, ask what it costs, yo. Boy, bitch, yeah, better get familiar, niggas gone wild.